Welcome back to the Two Industry Podcast. My name is Hill. This is Mike Games. I have Andrick, and just today, there's a lot of news that came out about the new Metal Gear Solid V. I just call it V. 5 Ground Zeroes. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan, and a lot of people are making a big deal about what Kojima announced. Basically, Kojima announced that the game is going to be short as hell, but you can play a lot of side shit.
Kojima is the creator of Metal Gear, if you don't know.
Yeah, he is the man.
He is a man.
He is the man. He doesn't even need to know English. And he already influences the Western civilization. Boom.
That's a bold statement.
With that being said, Mike doesn't play Metal Gear Solid, and
I don't.
there's a couple of reasons why. We're going to talk about why Mike doesn't play, and then we're going to talk about how we feel about what went on in the news.
Right.
So, Mike, why is it that you don't play Metal Gear
Have you?
Solid?
Well, have you ever tried it?
Yeah, I tried. I think it was the second Metal Gear.
Okay.
Somebody
Oh, the
loaned it
weird
to me.
one. Okay.
I'd like to. Anyways,
You
But-
walk around naked.
okay.
Is that why you liked it, Hill?
No.
Because you walk around naked?
No, I called it the weird one.
Okay, I guess that's why you liked it.
Exactly. Go ahead, Mike.
No,
And that was the only one that you played, so you obviously picked it.
And I stopped playing Metal Gear. No,
Why?
but I don't like it because of all the sneaking around. Just like Last of Us, that's what made me stop. I think I go back to it because of the story. The story is what got me into Last of Us. But yeah, I don't like Metal Gear because of all the sneaking around. I mean, there's no way out of the sneaking around. It doesn't give you a choice. It's just you hide in a box or you die.
But that's what's interesting because Metal Gear Metal Gear Solid, I should say, it's all about the whole story aspect of it, and it's very epic. All of their games are so epic and over the top, and one of the things that drew you for The Last of Us is that it was very emotional and it captured you.
Yeah.
So whenever you were playing Metal Gear Solid 2, none of that really captured you?
I
Like the
didn't
beginning?
get too far.
You didn't get too far?
No.
You just got to like the boat scene where he was on the
I
ship.
don't even remember. It was years ago.
Well, it is an old game. I think it came out in 2001 or something.
Something like
Something
that.
Yeah, I
like
was
that.
in high school. Oh, shit.
I wasn't. Holy shit.
Anyway, old ass. But so if this new Metal Gear Solid game came out, you still wouldn't play it because since 3, it does give you an option to do other things other than sneak around.
Actually, the new one has captured my interest because it looks beautiful from what they showed. Granted, they said that those were all cinematics, which I know that's the heated debate right now. But
Oh,
actually,
yeah,
I think that's why I'll play it because I'm not gonna have to be sneaking around. I'm just
You're
gonna
gonna be
watch
watching a
TV.
Okay, so what's interesting is that, and just to go back to what they're saying in the news, is that the actual gameplay is going to be what, 4 hours?
Yeah,
2
so
hours.
It's a prequel to Phantom Limb or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So the prequel is coming out with a couple years right now
Mm,
until we get the actual full game.
right.
So they're doing a prequel.
So it's really like a prequel.
They
Yeah.
said it's a prequel to kind of also show you how to play the game. It's kind of like a tutorial of how to play the game.
That's how advanced it's going to be, and I'm on the side of in Kojima I trust because like he doesn't really disappoint. Yeah, a lot of his shit is inflated. You know, a lot of his
A lot. All.
and I mean from his story, from his idea, but it's because he is a movie fan
Right.
and he wants to cover all aspects of that in his games. And if he wants to come out with like a prelude to another game, then I mean, more power to him. Hell, Gran Turismo does it. They fucking put out like a pre-game to their game.
Well, it's funny because that has gameplay.
Well, this one will have gameplay too.
Boom! Yeah, 15 minutes worth.
Well, you better enjoy that fucking 15 minutes.
It's just a ridiculous premise.
We're gonna call this the foreplay, okay?
It's such a ridiculous premise to be like $30, 15 minutes of gameplay for. I'm
Okay,
going to buy it. Here's the thing: I'm going to buy the damn game.
With that being said,
That
you
being
have
said,
a-
I'm going to buy the damn game because I do like Metal Gear. I think it's an interesting story.
and he pointed out that there's gonna be like side missions, there's gonna be all this other stuff that you can be able to enjoy because he wants you to be in that gameplay. Okay,
I
so
want a
would
game
you-
with my game.
Okay, so would you rather have it where he put the two games together and charge like $75 for it?
I don't think he would even do that. Why can't we just have a game with gameplay? He knows how to make games. The guy is a game designer. He can actually put more gameplay in there. 15 minutes of gameplay is ridiculous. It's like playing 2 levels of Mario.
Yeah, apparently it's gonna be a 2-hour game with 15 minutes of gameplay about for $40.
And the thing is, guys, like if you don't know Japan,
if you can't find it on the map, let me explain.
They always do this, and Metal Gear is like the biggest offensive game that does nothing but cutscenes, and a lot of their games have cutscenes, and they're ridiculous how much Kojima does it, and it seems like with every iteration of every game, he does it more and more and more. And this is just an insult to that. It was like,
but his whole purpose was to bring an experience to that, and that's his focus. Like he always wanted to have that interactive thing before, what's their name? Quantum Dreams.
mm-hmm.
Quantum Dreams started doing this whole interactive.
But they're not hiding from that. They're not saying there's a separate game from these
Kojima's not hiding from it either.
No.
So as you can see, it's a little heated
No,
debate.
it is because the whole thing with Metal Gear, from all their games, there was actual gameplay. It's actual you had control of the character. You're able to.
You mean original Metal Gear or Metal Gear Solid?
All of them, all the Metal Gears. There's actually gameplay. I think the number one actual one that had all gameplay was the Nintendo first one. But he slowly started putting more and more cutscenes, and this is just the biggest offensive of that. And then Quantum Dreams or Quantum Mechanic, whatever the hell.
Yeah, they were one of the two.
Their whole thing is just it's a quick time. The whole game is quick time.
Yes, which is like the worst mechanic in gaming industry right now. The entire game is a fucking quick time event.
They don't try to market it as something else, and Kojima's marketing it as a Metal Gear game where they're sneaking and being able to, knock people out.
No, did he say that?
That's what Metal Gear is.
No. What do you think? Because what he came out with, he was like, okay, he just showed the trailers. He just showed a little bit of gameplay. He was showing he has a whole nother.
If it doesn't
Kojima
keep the
engine,
same mechanics, then it's not
Fox
a Metal
engine.
Gear game.
He has a new Fox engine. So what? Okay, so he wants to tell a story about Naked Snake.
So just put a movie out.
Yeah, $20 instead of 40. It's a movie.
Yeah, that makes a difference. Well, I mean, you get.
He's not going to change it so dramatically that it's not in par with the other games, right? Because we know how Solid Snake acts, and we know how he goes about knocking people out, killing people, stunning people.
Right.
There's a layout to that universe.
And maybe
he's not going to change that. If he does change, I'd be very surprised. But he's not going to take away that core mechanic.
I mean, maybe he is. Maybe he's going to change it up. Hell, he put Kiefer Sutherland as the fucking voice actor.
Yeah, but it's a different character. It's a different Snake. It's Naked Snake or whatever, the old Snake or whatever.
David Hayter was Naked Snake as well.
I can't remember. I can remember all the different titles of Snakes.
Shut the fuck up. So I'm sure Kojima, look, he's got bitches, okay? Like, and he's got money, and he's got all the power
right here.
He's got all the money and power.
Obviously,
in the
he
world.
can do anything with his franchise that he wants, right?
That's what I'm saying.
But it's for someone who's been following Metal Gear, it's just like one of those. It's like George Lucas screwing up Star Wars. It's just like, come on, man, just give me a game.
Okay.
Like I'm again, he's going to get my money. I'm going to play the damn game.
I'm gonna play it because he's lending it to me.
Yeah,
And he's coming out with a game though. He's going to make a game.
yeah.
Okay.
But my I have low expectations for this game. That's just my feeling.
Well, it's not.
You mean you have low expectations for this tutorial?
Right. Well, when Metal Gear 4 came out, I was actually looking forward to the game.
Yeah, everyone was.
And
just like, yeah.
my expectations were high, and they actually met those expectations. Yeah. Even though the gameplay, there wasn't a lot. I totally fell in love with it. This one, with everybody coming out being like 15 minutes of gameplay, it's already bad news. Got a bad taste in my mouth.
Because to be honest, like Metal Gear it's cutscenes and boss fights.
Metal Gear 4?
Well, Metal Gear 4 definitely, but like most Metal Gears are.
Right.
Metal Gear Solid 3 was the same way. Well, Metal Gear Solid 3 was really just like trying to trek through the goddamn jungle without getting harmed.
Yeah, and that was actually, it had gameplay, and it was hard. It was
hard.
Game.
It was a really hard game.
But it had gameplay. It was all about sneaking and eating snakes. It was really
Well,
weird.
and that was a byproduct of people complaining so much about Metal Gear Solid 2. Because Metal Gear Solid 2, when that was
I
out,
love that game.
man, people
But people were
bitched.
mad mainly
They were
because
angry.
Snake wasn't the main
Right, that was
character.
one of the main ones, and that they had like fucking 3 hours of codec, in each segment. It had so much codec just talking, just for no
Right.
reason. I mean, I'm
It-
not really. I think people are exaggerating. That's like whatever.
Let's hope so. I really hope so.
You have
And
to like Kojima.
I hope I'm
understands.
wrong. I hope I fall in love with this game. With any game, I really hope I fall in love
Because
with
if
it.
he was just doing it just to have like really 15 minutes of gameplay and like nothing else to do, that's
Oh,
really pretentious.
I'm sure he's in his own head and it's playing out the way he wants it to play out. But for a gamer expecting gameplay, it's just disappointing to hear that.
Okay, look, he doesn't live in his bubble like Nintendo does. Okay,
Yeah, he lives in Kojima world.
what the fuck?
Where,
At least he considers what the gamers want. Nintendo.
I don't think he does. I don't think he
I
does.
disagree.
Because if he did, there would be gameplay in this.
Nintendo Wii U doesn't even have a first party game out that's new.
Yeah,
Super
Mario
Mario
3DS.
Oh yeah,
Or-
that was copied from 3DS, right?
But
Yes.
that's a new game.
No, that's a whole nother IP.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, you didn't say that. You said a new game. They have a new game.
well, hell, this new Metal Gear Solid game is a new game. How you like me?
With
that?
15
It's not a game.
It's an interactive movie.
Where are you gonna say, Mike? I'm sorry.
Well, I think Kojima was saying it doesn't matter on the amount of content that's in there. He's like, it's all about the story and the experience. So we'll see.
So he basically said it. He told you what this is going to be.
Ah,
Well, I think he said that after everybody was bitching, like, what the fuck? Only 2 hours of gameplay?
Yeah, and nobody was
no,
bitching.
15 minutes of gameplay.
Or, yeah, 2 hour game, 15 minutes of
And,
gameplay.
and nobody was bitching that Quantum Dreams is all about quick time events.
Because it looked pretty.
Because that's how they're
Exactly.
promoting the game, and that's who they are. They didn't start off with being a puzzle game and then go into that same universe and then just being all changing it up. The whole premise from the very beginning was a quick time event.
Okay, so basically, it's like you would rather have a developer be as clear as possible what their game is going to be.
If it's going to be in the same universe, I want that same mechanic. If not, then just change it or just come up with something completely different and not call it Metal Gear blah blah blah. Just call it a freaking movie or
well, that's what they did with Metal Gear Rising. It was even made by a totally different developer,
yeah, exactly.
and it was short.
Yeah,
it was short. It was
a
the
short
shortest
game.
Metal Gear game to date.
Yeah, but there was gameplay in that. The whole thing was gameplay.
That's all it was. It was just gameplay,
Yeah, the whole thing was gameplay.
and it was like 10 hours or something.
Yeah, well, 10 hours is a short game to you.
Fuck yeah, 10 hours is a short game to me.
For a shooter, typical shooters are about 4 to 6, right?
Yeah, well,
So
that doesn't
having
count because they're focused.
It's a game.
Well,
What do you mean?
because they're focused on multiplayer. Like they put all their investing in multiplayer.
But still, it's a game.
Like alone, we're talking about like Ni no Kuni.
Those are RPGs. That's a whole different.
Oh, I'm sorry. RPG doesn't mean game in there.
if you
It's
gave,
an
no, if you gave
RPG.
me an RPG and
role playing, what's the fucking third letter?
role playing game. But if you gave me an RPG and it was 10 hours, then I'd be like, that's a short game for an RPG.
That's true.
If it's
Oh,
an
you mean
action,
relative to
if
what
it's
it
an
is.
action game, which Metal Gear is supposed to be, or a sneaking around mechanic game, it's not supposed to be 15 minutes of gameplay.
I think a medium-sized game is like 20 hours.
So okay, let's take Splinter Cell, right? Same exact kind of premise, right? Sneaking around, knocking people out, shooting people. That's a good long game.
It's about
And I'm
25
getting my
hours.
Hmm?
It's about 25 hours.
Yeah, and I'm getting my money's worth, right?
Yeah, that's a medium
For the same price that I'm paying for a Metal
Right.
Gear game.
So that's exactly what I said. Like,
So 2 hours, you're still okay with, though.
2 hours
look,
isn't a
in
special shot.
Kojima, it's more of like
Kojima, you trust, right?
No,
Kojima-
it's more of like I don't disagree that that's happening. I think it's more to it than what he's told us.
I hope I'm wrong. Like I said, I
because
hope I'm
Kojima
wrong.
never shows his hand until like the game is released. He never tells anybody what's going on.
Right,
until
but people have already gotten their hand on the game.
no, they've gotten their hand on like a copy or a beta or something like that. It's not like the full game itself.
Like
And
I
he's
said,
done that before. He's
well, let's hope so.
like Metal Gear Solid 2. Everyone thought they were playing fucking Solid Snake the whole game, even when they were giving them the test games. And then when you actually bought the game, oh fuck, I'm playing as Raiden for the next 10 hours.
Well, like I said, I hope I'm wrong.
Okay.
I really do.
All right.
You still have a little something on your nose right there, Hill.
Yeah, it's called my awesomeness. Anyway, catch you guys later.